Welcome to Mingling with the Municipality. I'm your host, Jordan Hertner. Once a month, we sit down with municipal leaders talking about issues that affect our community. And these questions are coming straight from you through social media. So let's get started. Joining me today is Councillor Sheldon Germain. How are you?
Oh, hi, Jordan.
We love having you here.
Oh, I love to be here. I like to be a friend of the show. Hey?
Good, and we're at Mac Island, just for everybody in their library. So
beautiful facility. Happy to be here with you today.
So let's just jump right in. Let's get started. We talked about this the first time. The first show we did was with Mayor Melissa Blake. We're just going to jump into it because it's still been a hot topic, the arena, the downtown arena project. Where are we on that? That's a for sure go, correct?
No, not really. Okay, so where the municipality has made the choice is to, 3 proponents have put in proposals. They're fantastic proposals. They include business plans, fixed costs of saying, here municipality, here's what we could build on this site for you to serve your residents. So now what the municipality is doing is they've taken the lead proponent and said, okay, let's try to negotiate a relationship to move forward. And depending how that relationship goes, how those negotiations go, then we can make a decision whether we're going to move forward and build a sport and entertainment center, or relook at one of the other proponents. So it's still a lot of miles. We still have to look at the parking. We still have to look at the transportation. We have to make sure that the proponent has answers for that. But we are trying to progress forward and to see if we can make something work for the community.
So why exactly is this so needed here? I'm curious. We don't have an NHL team. I get why Toronto, Edmonton, would put an arena downtown, and they thrive. We have, pickup hockey. We also have the Oil Barons, and it would be a nice facility to have, events and concerts. But other than that, what's really going to be happening inside that building? A lot of downtime, no?
Great question, and that's one of the questions we had. The bottom line is you need to have close to 200 nights. 200 nights of activity. So if you have a hockey team, you have a lacrosse team, you have special events like trade shows, you have concerts, you have speaking series. There's a lot of different events, and that is what the proponent is working on right now, to say, hey, what events could we attract to Fort McMurray if we have a 7,200 seat arena? Once they do that analysis, then they're going to come back and say, here's the plan, here's how we can move forward.
So I like that you touched on speaker series and all of that. Would that, do you not feel like, be drawing away from Mac Island in itself? Because there is speaker series and there's so much going on here.
Great question. Really, Mac Island was developed to serve youngsters and use a field house for kids to play floor hockey, to play badminton, to play soccer. It wasn't designed, or was its purpose, to be a trade show center. I would sooner see Mac Island be used for families, kids playing, families playing on the field houses, than it used for speakers. The Sport and Entertainment Center, it's going to be set up acoustically for sound, it's going to be set up for concerts, it's going to have bathroom facilities, it's going to have places to get something to eat. It's going to be set up for entertainment, a total different purpose. Mac Island has served us very well, and we've stretched its uses as far as we can. Now we got to start looking at the Sport and Entertainment Center to take the load off McDonald Island.
So is this something that will need roughly, a while to build the 200 event nights? Or is this something that you foresee if the arena gets built right away, we have 200 event nights going in? Or is that, a 15-year plan to get to that?
Great question. The proponent is, so what the proponent has is an operating partner. That operating partner has a vested interest in bringing in as many events as possible so that they can break even and make their profit margins. We want to make sure as a municipality that it attracts and acts as a catalyst for our lower town site redevelopment, but it's the proponent's job to make sure that that arena is full.
Yeah. For sure. And I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this. What is your specific view on it? Do you think it should be a downtown? Do you think maybe there's a better location for it? Or do you think, just like other people have thrived on doing a downtown arena, that will be us?
You know what? I had a lot of questions about.
Only fair. That should be that way. Yeah.
You know what? I think. Thank you for the question. I think there's a lot of questions that still need to be answered.
Yeah.
I think the residents such as yourself and other residents and people are telling me, Sheldon, we don't quite get it yet. And quite frankly, I'm not sure I know all the pieces yet. But soon as we have that proponent's agreement set up, then we have something solid to make a decision on. My gut is telling me that wherever you go, there's going to be issues. We looked at many different places downtown, and we have the same types of issues: parking, access. If you look up in Thickwood, Timberlea, same types of issues. You got Confed, you got Thickwood. Those roads are pretty close to capacity. So, you know what? Let's wait and see what the proponents come back with. Let's see what the information is, and then we can make an informed decision.
So just being me, myself, you know, I'm a part of the community too. I love the idea of the arena, but at the same time for me, I'm like, why is this the hot button topic? Why is commercial space, you know, or, you know, retail, why aren't we getting amenities here? That is what we need, and we need the people who are making money to spend it here. So why is that not at the forefront? Why are we not getting more, you know, stores and things for people when they're done, not to have to drive to Edmonton and spend their money, to spend it right here?
I mean, no, I'm with you 100%.
Exactly, right, yeah.
That is what the arena is all about. It's got retail space in it, it's got food space in it, but it's a catalyst project to say, here, this downtown zone is going to be an entertainment and retail area. So you see
it's the domino effect, hopefully?
It's the domino effect,
okay.
And we have land use policy that helps develop and encourage lower town site redevelopment. So of course, we want you to walk along the Snai with shopping and then come up and stop for dinner and then go to an event and then stay after and then get a bus or a shared ride or drive safely home. But we want to do it in this redevelopment zone. So your concerns are bang on, and that is the whole idea of lower town site redevelopment and the redevelopment plan, and that is the idea of the Sport and Entertainment Centre as a catalyst project to develop a critical mass downtown to make retail, restaurants, bars, nightclubs more viable.
That's great. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a video question from Janet.
What's going to happen with the zoning in Waterways? We've got this highway that actually goes nowhere right now, but it will be going up to the airport. But what's going to happen? It's the dust, the dirt, the traffic. It's turning into a horrific place to live. And unless we get zoning changes, there's no hope for Waterways. We amalgamated years ago and we thought Fort McMurray would bring us something. They brought us nothing. You know, roads, sewers, nothing. So it's about time Fort McMurray stepped up and did something for Waterways.
That's a great question, Janet. I really appreciate it. I mean, I look at Waterways as a great redevelopment area. My mom and dad live in Cloverdale in Edmonton, which is nestled right down beside the river, and it's just got such huge potential, such a beautiful area, and I see that same potential in Waterways. Right now, you're right, it is a mess. We're trying to do horse pasture, clean that up, get water access and new boat launches there. We're also trying to bring in Prairie Loop Boulevard and the Saline Parkway down to connect, to try to help support some of our transportation issues. And appreciate your patience, and we are working hard to get some resolutions. Like to sit down with you further and try to get some more understanding on the type of zoning that we need to do down there. But I sympathize and I understand the huge potential for Waterways, and we got to get on with it. So thank you for your question. I appreciate it.
Awesome, thank you. All right, and we have one more video question, and it's from Derek.
We hear a lot of talk around the development up in the Tower Road area. Don't know what it is. I mean, I'm hearing it's all going to be churches, there's a rec center, is there stores, restaurants? Just curious to know what is the plans for that area.
So thank you, Derek, for the question. I mean, the Northside Rec Center is beyond Tower Road, so Tower Road remains intact. But the area called Abrams Land has some churches. It has the proposed Northside Rec Center that we're going to discuss at council. And it also has some restaurant pads and some potential for interface into the new North Parsons. So when it all fits together, it'll provide a nice blend between Timberlea, Thickwood, the Northside Rec Center area, and it will connect back to North Parsons subdivision. So great question. Thanks, Derek.
Great, and speaking about the Northside Rec Center, it's a go-ahead. They're already digging, right? Is that true?
Yeah,
this is what I heard.
Okay, so right now we're preparing the land. Council's going to make the decision on the facility.
What do you mean by that? It's not a go yet?
It is. There's one component that's already been approved by council, the twin arenas. The rest of...
What about the bowling alley? And we need the cinema. I thought that was in there. I voted for phase 3.
Hey, Jordan, my fingers. Let me operate my own fingers. Okay, first of all, the twin arenas have already been approved. Thanks, Jordan. The proposed center includes bowling alley, restaurants, swimming pool, library, fitness center, some shared space, also daycare space, and a gymnasium.
You didn't even have enough fingers for all of that.
And a fitness center.
You need my toes almost for that.
Yeah, we'll have to use your toes or your
That's
fingers.
That's a lot of stuff.
We'll have to have a new policy on sharing fingers.
Okay, okay. Yeah. It's a lot of stuff. So it's all, I'm hoping the bowling alley. But
bowling alley is in the proposed center. I think it's one that's come out on all the public consultation processes is a bowling area, and it'll be like it'll be run by a separate entity. So it'll have an opportunity for restaurants. So you can go with your friends, bowl a few, brag about how well you bowled.
Okay, and you know what? We're gonna have to wrap this up soon here. I've been enjoying this conversation immensely. But we do have a Twitter question from Todsky, and he says, what is your vision, Sheldon, for the future of YMM, and where do you see us being in 2020 as a municipality? Great question, Todsky.
Yeah, great question. Thanks, Todsky, for the question. I just think that we have so much potential in this community. I could see this waterfront being a very source of pride. The lower town site redevelopment, but also it's about affordable, sustainable development. I mean, North Parsons subdivision has to get out and get in front. We have some power centers available for retail options that you talked about earlier. So a balanced community that really does have opportunity for all. And when I say that, I look at a river valley, a waterfront that's beautiful,
it's
sought
so
after. We have such potential there. I think the Marine Park is a very positive piece.
Yep.
Once you start to see that linear park along Clearwater and along the Snai, it's going to be just fantastic. And with Todsky, we're moving forward on the arena. The arena is going to provide a catalyst for Lower Town Site, and we'll have a really nice balanced option for people if they want to live in condos, if they want to live in single-family homes with picket fences, they'll have that option. And when we start to look at the rural areas, we're going to have areas where you can access lakes, areas that you can access larger lots. We need options for people, and everyone makes decisions based on what's right for them and their families and their price point. And we're going to have those. So I can see by 2020 that we're going to be much larger.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we're going to be 150, 175-ish, but we're going to have balance. We're going to have North Parsons up. We're going to have Saline Plateau up. We're going to have some rural areas developed. We're going to have some downtown redevelopment. So I think it's very promising, and I'm very excited, and I'm of course excited to be a part of it.
That's awesome. And we do have to get the show rolling. So is there any closing remarks that you had, or just maybe some light that you want to shed on anything coming up that's exciting in our community?
Well, I mean, I just want to wish everyone a good and safe summer. Council has done a ton of work on our strategic plan and strategic direction. We've met as a council, met as a team, starting to narrow down and focus what we're trying to achieve, and that's just going to be positive for the community. And I'm happy to work with our current mayor and our current council, because they're just, as much as we're rough around the edges and we argue a little bit, but that's good for democracy.
That's what's
democracy.
needed.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we crash and bang a little more than most people, but I tell you what, when you're tough in the corners, you win hockey games, and we're tough in the corners. We're going to win for this community, and I'm really proud of this team and the way they're working together.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jordan.
Sheldon.
Have me on whenever.
There you go.
Just love quality time with you.
That's great. Thank you. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this episode of Mingling with Municipality. Thank you to Councillor Sheldon Germain. But we want to hear from you for the next one, so please get us and hit us up on Twitter at ShawTV4MC and use the hashtag AskShawYMM. I've been your host, Jordan Hertner, and we'll see you next time.